Yo guys, what's up? It's WarSpirit here to talk about ranked play and your ranked placement matches today, how you can get the most out of them to help minimize the grind of escaping an elo hell. It's obviously very key that you try to win as many placement matches as possible to get ranked higher, but it's not quite the be all and end all of ranked play. I want to help you guys out with some tips on how to win those ranked games, as well as how to maximize your first skill rating. If you've already done your placements, share your scores and ratings below in the comments. Don't be shy, it's only a month and a half until the next season starts on August 18th, and you'll get to start your placements all over again, so this information here should be helpful for everyone. So the first very important piece of information you need to know is that the placement matches are very heavy on the individual performance of the player. The better you perform with the heroes you use each match, the better your skill rating will be at the end, even when winning or losing. So how can you tell if your individual performance is good or not? Well, take Soldier 76 for example. He's a damage dealer, so if you play Soldier 76 in a game, you want to be aiming for a lot of damage and eliminations on the scoreboard. You'll also want some decent heal stats due to your biotic field ability. Gold medals are always a nice sign of good performance, but the game isn't just comparing you to the people currently in your match, it's comparing you to everyone who has ever played Soldier 76 and how well they scored on the same map and on the same attack or defense side. Let's look at Mercy. A lot of players pick Mercy because she's considered an easy hero to play, which means a lot of bad players pick Mercy, either just solo pocketing their friend and not really doing much else, or they'll just be dying over and over due to terrible positioning. What that means is if you're a great Mercy player and you can score high in ranked games, you're going to be easily way ahead of the average Mercy ratings in Overwatch. The problem is, she still kind of has a limit on how much she can actually do. She can't virtually enhance her healing output, and she can only really do as much as her DPSs allow. You also have heroes like Mei, which for the most part won't be getting any gold medals when you play her. The game can't really detect how often you place a brilliant ice wall to split up an enemy push, or how often you counter a high noon or soldier ult with it. And for the most part, you'll be running around freezing people, not dealing a whole ton of damage. It's very hard for the game's algorithms to rank you as a very skilled Mei player. This was highlighted very clearly in a feedback post from one user who played a double Lucio King of the Hill match with a friend, where he was the Lucio focusing on speed boosting while his friend was the main healer. The speed booster ended up earning a lot less skill rating points due to speed boosting not really being a track stat. In fact, it was almost like the second Lucio did nothing the whole game. So here's what I suggest. For each section of a match, play a hero that can perform their absolute best on that section. I've regularly been picking Junkrats for first point holds, dealing massive damage, swapping to Reaper or Soldier 76 for second stages on payload maps, and I've always been attacking payload maps with my hard carry main Zarya. So definitely play around your strengths as much as your teammates' compositions will allow. And keep it in the back of your mind that yes, you do want to win, but you want to be performing individually as well. The next thing to think about is how you want to go about stacking in your placement matches. Solo queue, duo queue, triple queue, or even 6 stacking. Solo queue in your placements, I would say, is a coin toss. You've got a 50-50 chance that you'll win, and the match could easily end up being very one-sided, meaning you might not actually get that chance to show how well you can perform on your chosen heroes. Straight away, I'm going to recommend triple queuing as your best options for placements, and even beyond them, just because it allows you to cover the essentials of having a DPS player, a tank, and a support main, all of whom should be very capable in their roles. When you triple queue like this, you obviously shouldn't ignore the other half of your team, but it's by far your best chance of carrying them. You can wombo combo your ults with each other easily, and you'll have more options available with 3 people rather than just 2. I found in the few games that I have played duo queue, we didn't quite have enough to carry a team, since we've got 4 other guys there who we were relying on at least one of them to play either a really good tank or support role, usually with absolutely no communication or coordination coming from them. Having that minimum 3-way conversation with my teammates felt essential. What I wouldn't recommend is going higher though into a 4 or 5 stack, because then it's likely someone in your group won't get to play his main role based on the choices of the random players that you get, and so he won't have the best time playing. Also, there's no point in 5 stacking, I think, because there's a good chance of being put against other 5 or 6 stacks, and you're tossing a coin again to see which team gets the random player who actually follows your coordinated pushes, or maybe he'll just run in and die 24/7. Basically, it comes down to the fact that you can make a coordinated 3-man push work against another uncoordinated group of 6, because you have the damage focus, you have the heal focus, and you have the tank focus potential all in your group, and the minimum chance that the enemy team has the same as well. Let's talk about 6 stacking. So this is where you really need to put your super tryhard pants on. It's a whole new ball game. You need to have 6 players of similar skill that cover all the needs of a great Overwatch team composition. Despite most public matches ending up with just a solo support, in 6 stacks you should likely be running 2 supports, since you can be a bit more reliant on your 2 to 3 DPS players actually being able to get the job done, and then you'll hopefully have a tank main in your group of friends as well. When you 6 stack, you will be going up against other 6 stacks who will be trying just as hard as you to win. They'll have team compositions, they'll have everyone on VoIP communicating, they'll have target focus, wombo combos, and aggressive pushes coming into your team. Anything less from your own group going into that match, and you cannot be expecting to win. So make sure you and your friends are on the same page about whether you're playing ranked for some fun, or you're actually going in there to climb ranks. I've spent the majority of my time solo queuing, or YOLO queuing as I like to call it, since completing my placement matches. I ended up with a rating of 60 after scoring 7-3. Since then I've climbed to my current rank of 67 solo, and with relative ease. Some quick tips are that you go into a solo ranked match with an open mind. You could win or lose the match, just make sure that you enjoy it. Don't be toxic to your teammates or your opponents. Everyone is here just to play. Some people will be trying harder than others. Laugh off the trolls you wind up with on your team occasionally. If anyone else is being toxic, just right click their name in chat and report them, and then move on. Find your strongest heroes for each section of each map, so at least you can be performing as best as you can, and surely won't be the person to blame for a loss. Cross your fingers every time you hit the play button, and pray to Jeff Kaplan that you get a good support player if you are a DPS main. If it really comes down to it, and literally no one on your team is going to lock in support, and you're kind of in the mood for a bit of support gameplay, and you don't feel like you'd be able to carry at all with your main heroes without having a support on the team, then play a Mercy or Lucio and do your damn best to stay alive and heal as much as possible, with the goal of hitting a top performance mark, so that even if you lose, it hopefully won't be at the cost of much of your skill rating. Honestly, when the map loads, I know immediately what I want to play. I instantly lock it in and hope that my teammates build around it. So far it's been working out well, and as I said earlier, I'm always playing to maximize my performance with my chosen heroes, so that when I win, I'm gaining about 50% of a skill rating bar. But if I lose, it's only between 25 to 40% of the same bar, just based on my performance that match. One of the best things you can look for in the loading screen that shows the teams is which team is the underdog. It will be highlighted with some text and an icon at the top of the team list, pretty easy to spot. You won't see it much in your placement matches since the teams won't really have an average skill rating, but afterwards it's always really nice to be that team with the bonus. If you're the underdogs, the game is expecting you to lose, but honestly at this early stage, matches can swing very easily, especially due to the sudden death coin flip mechanic, which is getting removed for next season by the way, so don't worry too much about that and how toxic it makes the game right now, because every time there's a coin flip people absolutely go mental. But being the underdog means you get more points for a win and you lose less points for a loss. Just another little thing there to motivate your team to perform well. I had one recently on King of the Hill Ilios, playing against some recognisable names with my own team, a bunch of no-names. We called ourselves the Undergods as we won round after round, taking the map 3-0. Half the guys there actually ended up gaining a full bar of skill rating as well. I hope this video has been of use to you guys and motivated you to get in there and get ranking up. I'm so glad ranked play is back because it's just actually so much fun for me. Especially love when I get a group on comms who are really trying and making the calls to win. If you do want to talk more in your matches, just get on the correct voice channel and say hello at the start of the game. Other guys might take it up from there and you can join in with calls where you feel they are needed. Just whatever you do, try not to rage down your mic. It doesn't help at all with motivating your team to win, and it can easily throw off some of your guys as well. The final thing is that ranked games can last a while, up to an hour easily, so you can burn out quickly after a few rounds. Remember to take a break, listen to some good music, and whatever you do, don't keep queuing after a painful lose streak, because it's likely not going to get any better until you recollect the correct mentality required for ranked play. Thanks for watching, guys. Keep hitting that subscribe button and check out my Twitch streams for ranked play live. See you guys in my next video. Bye bye.